throb never. I mean hard throb forever.
Yeah, I want to talk about this immigrant thing, this ongoing immigrant issue that we have. First off, we had nothing but love for immigrants, no matter what ethnicity, American blacks, and a lot of whites did too, or do too. Have nothing but love for people. Whether y'all know it or not, growing up American, if you were born on the soil, unless you were a staunch racist on either side, white, black, Hispanic, whatever, unless you were that, we always rooted for people from other countries, and particularly other countries that, they were struggling in, or the country was struggling with internal conflict. We always wanted those people to make it to America and make it here as the underdogs and be able to tell their success stories here. That's how we always looked at it. And you can ask a lot of white people, black people, or any other Americans that are naturalized American citizens. That's how we viewed it. We viewed that, man, like how come every place isn't like America for the most part? We didn't start as American black people. We didn't start to cause or to identify a delineation until we recognized that the immigrants that were coming here, and particularly the black immigrants, we didn't know that they didn't determine or view themselves or identify themselves as black like us. Like, this is a recent uncovered phenomenon for American blacks. We didn't know that. But once we figured it out, we're like, oh, okay. So the Haitians, being upset that, people are saying that they're eating, domestic animals and this and that, and then they want to blame American blacks for speaking about that. Listen, we are simply taking in the information that's being put out on all of the media avenues, just like y'all are seeing as well. You see, the places that they're saying that this is happening, that there are no black people in those areas predominantly. These are predominantly white areas. These are white people saying this. So as a number of other content creators have said, like Tariq Nasheed, specifically, he said, well, how come y'all don't have a smoke for the white people who are putting this information out? Why y'all keep wanting to attack us? Now, here's another thing that's really critical for me. Upon discovering that black immigrants, no matter where they are from on the globe, and that's not saying all of them, but we have enough instances where there are numerous black immigrants who make it clear that they're not black, that they're not like American blacks, and that American blacks aren't like them, and that they particularly don't care for us. So once I found that out, I go into further research and everything. And one of my biggest things right now is this whole thing of political figures, politicians, governing officials who are in these positions, and they are clearly immigrants or have immigrant background, but they are representing American black people as though they are just American black folks. Now, my problem with that stands on this. If you have somebody that's black, but they're an immigrant, or they're second generation immigrant, or they have whatever immigrant ties, that leaves room and grounds that those people who are immigrants in all of these political positions and governing positions, they may not have the best interest for the American black community, particularly if they are immigrant descent who don't care for American blacks. You see? So my thing is identifying this. When we have that type of thing going on politically, with that type of deceptive representation for American blacks, or FBA, To me, that posits the situation, the historical situation of taxation without representation. Man, like, because what it means is that we'll have these people with immigrant backgrounds in the key positions politically that American black people need for community resources, for status resources, for economic resource, all of those things that we need to gain through political advocacy. If we have immigrant persons in these positions, it has now become clear why nothing has been done on a major level for us all these decades. Like, I'm a little bit confused. Like, growing up, I didn't know Colin Powell was Jamaican. Now I got to question what was Thurgood Marshall. You know, the Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Sheila Jackson Lee in Texas that died a few months ago, the Karine Jean Pierre lady, Kamala Harris. You know, like all of these political figures and celebrity figures with all these immigrant backgrounds. And when it comes down to put it on the line, they will immediately let you know that they aren't American black. And, you know, but then when it benefits them, oh, we're black. You see, that's misrepresentation. And that's pushing us into a situation where we're being taxed through political policy, but we don't have actual representation for our ethnic demographic, being American black or FBA. Like, and then people want to say that we're wrong for now making people identify themselves. Or what are you? Like, where are you from? Well, why does it matter? We're all black. No, 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 no. Remember, y'all started this. Y'all started the delineation. Remember, FBAs or American blacks, we all wanted to be one big nigga. But y'all said no. You see, y'all ain't gonna let an American black politically represent y'all when it comes down to it. But we're supposed to let American blacks from whatever country represent us, even though they never. We're supposed to let American blacks, no matter what country they come from, represent us, even though they haven't, done anything to help uplift the American black community. And another thing, stop with all the waving your country's flag on the grounds of America. And, talking about how proud you are to be from this country when you're here in America. Like, I'm not saying that you can't be proud of where you're from, but if you're so proud of it, go back there and help stabilize it. Like, this shit is so disrespectful and so crazy, man. It's like no Americans can go, whether we white, black, Hispanic, or what. We can't go to these other countries. Haiti, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, not Puerto Rico, but Venezuela, all of those South American countries and those Caribbean countries. We can't go to those countries and wave an American flag talking about how proud we are to be from America, but residing in those countries. But everybody is able to come here and do the most disrespectful shit. And then when people start getting at their ass about it, you're labeled a racist or being divisive? The fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Like, this bizarro world shit is getting out of hand. It's just getting out of control. Like, the fact that people can be so, retarded in their thinking And this isn't the using the word retarded to speak down on people who are actually deemed, handicapped or, the politically incorrect retarded. You see all this semantic stuff, all this, well, you can't say it that way. And this is the problem. But for people to have, a retarded way of this thinking to become the norm or the normalcy in a society, full of adults and everything like that, like, this is very, very dangerous. And I don't know how long you expect people to continue just to accept this type of ideology and thinking and not push back in a way where the first shove is like, okay, you want to fight. But all in all, this whole thing of these political figures, and I mentioned this in my other posts, my earlier posts, no more outer ethnic governance for American blacks. That shit is over with. So for me to be looking at it and seeing all these immigrant political figures in prominent positions and, district attorney positions and, governors and attorney generals and vice president, like, this shit is crazy. And then when we ask you, congressmen and women, Senate seats, mayors, like all this shit, we didn't know that these people weren't us. And now that we're asking if you are us, we're the ones being divisive. When every one of y'all have your own communities in the United States. Oh, there's Jamaican communities, there's Haitian communities, there's, Hispanic communities, Latino communities. It's one problem though. If there is anything such as an all-American black community, we have people from all races that live in our communities. And see, now people are mad that we figured this out. But we need to push that this is a form of taxation without representation. We're being taxed through our tax dollars in the United States with people who are representing us, and they are not actually of our ethnic demographic. Major problem. Major problem. Taxation without representation through these immigrant individuals hiding amongst American black people, hiding amongst FBA. Taxation without representation. This is a major problem. This is very problematic. So I'll say it once more. This is a situation of taxation without representation. Unreal. I can't believe we're even going through this shit. But anyway, I'm out.
Heart throb never. Heart throb forever.